Hey, welcome you all back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all. And I invite y'all to come on in the house and do the same with me. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up for me, hit subscribe if you are not already a subscriber, and let me know how you're doing. If you have looked in the mirror today and you are feeling A1 with what you see looking back at you, go ahead and drop me a mirror emoji down in the comments. Let me know how you're doing because your girl Kate, I'm good. And I want to make sure my YouTube family is too. Because if you are not, as always, I encourage you to do what you must to get back to a healthier version of yourself. Keyword healthier. All right, y'all. This is Married at First Sight, season 16. Oh my goodness, really? 16 seasons? Episode 10, Love is Up in the Air. So it's day 19. We see Chris and Nicole. They're waking up to their dog howling. Woo! Shaquille is trying to teach Kirsten how to mop a floor. Like, honey, why don't you know how to mop a floor? you know. Over with Aries and Jazz. He has the C19 of it all. He's in the bed talking about he's spending for himself because Jasmine has a long day. Talking about he has to feed himself and all. I'm sorry. You are a grown tail man. That's what grown men do. They feed themselves. You are not a baby. Anyway, Clint is having this conversation with his mother, and may I say, she looks awesome. Like, she and Clint look like they could be the same age. Anyways, he tells her how what's her name? Gina has just been very focused on her job, and he wants to know if that's how things were for her when she started her business. So she was just like, yeah, pretty much for like that first year or so, it's completely pouring into the success of the business, but then you eventually get to a point where you can find balance between your work life and your personal life. And so Clint still believes that there has to be like this work life balance out top, and that Gina is just too invested in her business right now. So he's trying to figure how he gonna work all that out with Gina in the now versus his mom telling him like, yeah, this how it really is. Like you gonna have to sacrifice on the front end, you know, to reap the benefits on the back end. So anyway, Chris takes Nicole to get a couples massage. Um, the producers asked them, "Is marriage stressful?" While they were on the table getting their massages. And so Chris said he's really about growing together and communicating. And Nicole said that there will always be moments of stress and frustration, but that she likes how their lives fit together. So one of the massage therapists asked them, do they massage each other? And so Chris said that she's done me more so than I have done her, but that they should definitely do it more often because physical touch is one of both of their love languages. So when he said that physical touch is one of is both of their love languages, the coach was just like, it's not a love language of mine. And so she was really sad though, but she said it's like actually at the very bottom for her when it comes to the other out of all the five love languages is at the bottom. But she said that has actually changed though since being with Chris. So in her confessional, she said that she has no doubt that she will fall in love with him. And I said, I think that she probably feels that she's already in love with him, but that she's waiting on him to say it. And notice I said think because I don't feel like she is, but I think she thinks that she is. But anyway, Uh, so yeah. And all that talking on the massage table, I wouldn't want that. Like for me, a massage is a time to relax and just chill. And I would not want to be doing all that talking. I'm sorry. I just would not. Like, let me just have my moment and then take it in. So anyway, next, we see Kirsten on the phone. Kirsten, not Kirsten. You know, her friend gonna get us for mispronouncing that name. So we see Kirsten on the phone with her friend. You know the one I'm talking about, old girl that said she was gonna grill Shaq like a rack of barbecue ribs at the wedding. So Um, Kirsten tells her that the honeymoon was amazing and that the next best thing was moving in together. Again, Kirsten is not coming across believable. Like, what was so amazing about you all's honeymoon? Because we didn't see it. It didn't come across our TV screens. Like, and what was so great about you moving in together? What, that you finally got some furniture? Cause, Cause baby, we all know you ain't got none in that apartment of yours. Like, so I mean, what was so amazing? I don't get it. Like, yeah, it's not coming across as believable. So anyway, she tells her friend that she's waiting on his work schedule to kind of settle down so that they can have more quality time together. Like she said, by the time he got home the previous day, she was fast asleep, although she had, tried to wait up on him or whatever. And so in her confessional, she said that she's being as patient and understanding as she can, but she wants to make sure that she's not slipping through the cracks. She said that she's giving him grace, and I said it sounds like she's setting up a reason to go and say no to him on decision day without her looking like the bad guy, if you're asking me. Like, that's gonna be the reason. Like, I tried to spend time with you and you were too busy, da 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 da, and I would wait on you some nights and I would fall asleep waiting. Like, I could just see it now, like there being her reason for not wanting to continue things. Like, I can't keep pouring into this marriage and you're not pouring back into me and not putting me first. And I could just see it. I could just see that clear as day. But anyway, it's day 21, right? And so Aries is talking about how Jasmine has made him some homemade chicken noodle soup, and so now he wants to rate her on how she's been taking care of him. And now y'all, he did all this. If we had children and I was on my dying bed, I wouldn't I would die peacefully knowing my children would be well taken care of. If I were in a hospital, I know Jasmine would be there wiping my tail. Like, he did all this right. All that talking about how he knows she would step up to the plate and take care of things. But then he rates her a 7 out of 10 as far as how she took care of him during his time of sickness. A 7, dude. Like, and I said it's probably because she was not waiting on him hand and foot. And you know what? Let me scratch that, because knowing her, she probably really was. Because she seems to do everything he tell her. Feed me some grapes. Feed the grape. Massage my feet. Massage the feet. Like, so, he is such a jerk, though. He is. He is. Now, Aries, you already have acknowledged that Jasmine has this hectic schedule, her work, her taking care of her mom, taking care of them dogs, and then you want her to take extra time to pour to you when you already said you gotta help her. Like, she's doing the best she can and you can't even give her that much. Like, Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Just because she ain't made time, make time to baby your bud. Like, I mean, take care of your own sick bud. Like, potentially exposing others and all to that virus and stuff. Like, ain't nobody got time for all that. And then she got to go around her mom too, whose immune system is already low. The woman is battling cancer. Like, ain't nobody got time for all that. Like, ugh. And all you can say is she was a 7 out of 10. Man, get out of here with all of that. But anyway, he keep talking about this was their first sick encounter as a married couple, and that truth be told, to me, it seems like it was a mild case, and you still could have managed things on your own. You just didn't want to. You just wanted to be a big ass baby or whatever. But anyway, Clint shows up at Gina's salon. Um, at first I was wondering, what did she tell her co-workers about their marriage? Did she just tell them they were married, or did they were part of the show Married at First Sight? But look, they own a show, so they got to know what it is, and I'm sure they had to sign some NDAs and all that. But anyways, so she ended up showing him around, and she said that they they come to the realization that they know they need more emotional intimacy, and so that just comes from them sharing more of their lives with one another. So hence he's at the salon or whatever. So he's being Clint, like making jokes, and he seems to be getting along with everyone or whatever. Um, yeah, he just said he enjoyed seeing her and her element and her accomplishments, but at the same time, he's like, you got to be able to live life too, or whatever. So Chris and Nicole have a date night. She takes him to this place she's been wanting to check out for a while. That's like in her neighborhood, but she always wanted a special person to go there with. So Nicole brings up how the goal is to grow in love, but she wants to address the elephant in the room. So I'm like, what's the elephant in the room? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I miss? And apparently Chris was the same way. And so girl, what elephant? So honey, this is an elephant for you. Ain't no elephant for everybody else. So she wants to know if Chris loves her, basically. Like I said, she thinks she loves him, but she doesn't want to be the first to say it. So she's putting it out there that if he feels like saying it, it is okay for him to say. So in his confessional, Chris said, in one of his past relationships, he said it before he was really ready, and it's one of those things that, like, once you say it, you can't take it back. And that is so true. Like, I have done that before too, just jump the gun because you be giddy all in lust and you're thinking it's love when it really is not. And then when it does settle, you be like, what the hell? And you stuck in this rut of saying I love you. Like, but yeah, been there, done that. But he does tell Nicole that there's no timetable to saying it, but right now isn't the time. He's not there at the moment. And so I'm glad that he just did not try to lead her on. He was just like, I'm not there yet. So Nicole was looking like she was all disappointed and let down on the inside, but trying to hold it together on the outside. Like, Nicole, just pipe down a tad bit, baby. She wants this so bad. She really does. So then we get a knock knock on all the couples' doors, right? And so it's some homework along with Dr. Pepper. She's saying typically a couple has built a foundation on love before committing to a marriage, but our newlyweds only began their work at the altar. Building strong feelings takes time, work, effort, and open and honest communication. To help maximize our couple's potential for love, we've given them some deeper topics to discuss. Y'all know. Y'all know how these exercises go. So we catch a glimpse of Clint and Gina doing theirs first, holding hands, asking their questions. What are three things that bring you joy? She says, quality time with people she loves, traveling and decompressing, right? He says he has the three F's: family, friends, and then asked her to pick the third F. And she was like, I don't know. Is it food? And, he agreed that it was food, but personally, I think he was talking about something else. if you know what I mean. Something else that starts with an F. But anyway, so the next question was, share something that was difficult and how you managed to overcome them. She spoke about her childhood with her parents getting divorced and how they had to move around often. And she said, but the way she overcame that, along with most adversity in her life, is with a mindset shift. I'm sorry. I had to change cameras. And this one is just not doing what I wanted to do. But anyway, yeah, so she said she had to change things with like a mindset shift. And so Clint brings up how he actually got someone pregnant, but the young lady ended up having a miscarriage, and how he was very excited about the pregnancy and ready to be a dad. He was all in, and they're saying just like even if they didn't make it, that he was ready to just co-parent. And so he was just saying that he had such a physical response to such, he had such a physical reaction to such an emotional response. Like he started having rashes over his body, and he never thought that he would ever experience something like that, to have such a physical reaction to such an emotional response. And so then the next question was, well, what scares you about your level of chemistry to your spouse, right? And so she said, well, will it continue to grow, especially knowing that there is a decision day up ahead? Like, and he pretty much just said the same thing, answered the same way or whatever. And so, I'm really liking the space these two are in. Like, I definitely still do not see them going beyond this process, but at least they're cordial, and I feel like they're at least starting to make a friendship and respect each other. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't think it's going to be anything beyond that. Like, I don't see any romantic feelings growing, at least not right now, but I do see them kind of forging a friendship. So, yeah, I'm liking the place that they're in. I don't know, like how much of it is I'm aware of the cameras and how I may look. So let me just continue to try. But like I said, I mean, for the most part, it seems genuine. The friendship that they're kind of building, at least I think, they'll at least try to make it until the end of the 2 months. So over with Kirsten, she asked Shaq if he's ever been in love before, and he answered yes. And she says, well, how did you know? And before he could answer it, she was just like, oh, are you still in love? Like, Kirsten, he done married a whole nother woman. He is not in a relationship anymore. And Shaq was like, man, can I answer the first question? Dad, And so, I don't know why this camera keeps slipping. But anyway, we gonna keep it moving. So, yeah. Shaq was just like, you don't let me answer the question. So he said he knew because someone took the time with him when they were took the time with him. They were being patient with him. And he said that was a great feeling. He said growing up in a single parent household, that his mom did her best to show them what true love meant, but from the male perspective, it was like being thrown out there and expected to love, and you really didn't know until someone came along and they actually showed you what it meant or what it could mean. So Kirsten said she's been in love before. She said her last relationship lasted for years, and with it not working out, it has made her guarded, but she has healed from it. Oh, have you really now? Have you really now? In her confessional, she said that she never really opened up to her ex and talked about her feelings, but she knows that that's something she has to work on. So Shaq wants to know, what will it take for her to fall in love? And she said quality time. Just me, just me being around you. Girl, stop. So she wants to know from Shaq, well, what will it take for you? And Shaq said time. Here she goes, spending time with each other. He said, no, that's what you said. I said time. Yeah, I think Shaq has just really kind of, I don't know. I don't think he all gung ho like he was. I'm kind of think he's starting to see that Kirsten is not putting the effort for, like, I think he's starting to kind of check out, because he is not, he is like over it. He just like, no, that's what you said. I said time. So, Shaq wants to, so anyway, so here she go. Spending time with each other. Wait a minute, y'all. So in his confessional, Shaq said he definitely wants to give Kirsten his undivided attention, but it's hard because he wants to make himself happy first, and then he can make her happier, right? And so Kirsten tells him that she likes having his attention and that she won't always be this needy, but they just met. So of course I want to be around you all the time. And I'm thinking, like, girl, do you really? Do you really, honey? Or are you just putting on? Because that's what I'm thinking. You just putting on or whatever. So anyway, day 25, and Jasmine and Aries are going to give Duchess a bath. He said he wanted to wash the dog in a way to reciprocate what she did for him as far as taking care of him. I said, really? You want to compare bathing her dog to her taking care of you? Whatever. So she seemed depressed by it all, especially since he doesn't really like dogs. If you like it, I love it, sis. So Nicole and Chris, they sit down after he just has cut his own hair. I don't know. He had these three little strings sitting over here to the side. Like, Chris, don't cut your hair no more. Do not cut your own hair anymore. So anyway, he brings up having insecurities about his body, and she said she does as well, but that she enjoys the things that they're doing together, like eating healthier and working out, and that she likes him as he is. And so she wants him to also know that he doesn't have to do anything to try to please her. That if he does make any changes, it should be for himself. And so he wants to he did okay, so this is the little clip we've been getting from the commercial. So he brings up how he had been asked about what does he think of her appearance, right? And so he says that he wanted her to know because, you know, she's gonna watch it back, and he basically want to get ahead of it, is what it is. And so he says that when he was asked that, he said that she's beautiful, she has beautiful hair, beautiful smile, but that she's thicker than what he would normally go for, and but not in a bad way. And he just wants her to know because, of course, she's going to see it later. So we get the playback from a few days prior of him telling that to the camera, right? And I was just like, oh my goodness, here we go again. So, Chris, did you not learn anything from when Clint and Gina had their thing with him talking about, you know, calling her thick? Like, did you not learn? Did you not learn? And so, uh, especially with your wife being vocal during their mess. But anyway, so Chris tries to clean it up, talking about, I was just saying, thick as in athletic. Now, Chris. And so, you tried it. Try again. Chris is like, I wasn't trying to upset you. I just got lost in the moment. Plus, you referred to yourself as thick. Nicole said that's different. Y'all, why does Chris always come across as if he's had these conversations 11 times in his head, like he has gone through every type of reasoning? Like, I felt that same way when he came to her about renewing their leases at their own apartments. Like, he went in like he done rehearsed all these reasons why they should renew their own leases. And that's how I got this same vibe. Like, he came in with all these reasons why it was okay. Like, oh, you've already called yourself thin. Plus, it was just da da da. And then I meant it as athletic. And, oh, baby. Oh, oh. Anyway, she said, it is jarring to hear your husband say something that can be perceived as insulting. She says definitely different from when she says it and when he says it. So in her confessional, she shares that she has body dysmorphia. And I don't know if I can't remember if she said she had it or has it. But I'll just say she had some type of dealing with body dysmorphia, right? So Nicole says she's thick and that she will always be, but that's her disposition. No matter how thick she is, she will still be thick. And obviously, if they have children, she will become even thicker. So here go Chris. Yeah, sure. Your body type is your body type. Nicole said in her confessional that he has a lot of balls right now. Anyway, she gave him other adjectives he could use to describe his wife, but to avoid using the term thick. And that's on period. Poo. Oh, goodness. So Clint takes Gina sailing, right? He's teaching her things about sailing along the way and even letting her control the sail at times. Like, again, it was nice to see him engage her in something that he enjoys, since he's always so immersed in the things that she enjoys, like that guy, like that salon of hers. Like, she's always talking about it, and she never fails to bring it up in any kind of conversation. So it seems like she enjoyed it, and that it felt good. So yeah, good deal. So over with Shaq and Kirsten, right? They're hosting his mentees at the apartment. So it's four of them, right? And baby, it was lights, camera, and action for Kirsten. Like, she like lives for these moments. Like, she enjoys this kind of stuff. So they all sit down right to talk in the living room. And y'all, this is all I could think about. Why these big overgrown ass men all piled up on one couch? Like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And I know production or somebody made them do that. Like, I'm sure they could have moved some chairs closer around and got everybody in one view. But why y'all had all four of them grown men sitting together on that one little old couch? Like, they all try to make sure they got shoulder room. And I was like, you know what? So Kirsten asked them what type of mentor is Shaq, and they said that they thought he was they thought he was corny at first, but then they found out he was kind of hip. So she then asked them, were they nervous for him to go through marriage? And one of them said, I was just hoping it wasn't somebody ugly. He then proceeds to say, but you're beautiful. Who does your hair? Oh, okay. That was a weird question. Just like, you're beautiful though. Who does your hair? Like, okay. So anyway, so one of the guys asked Shaq, like, what's the biggest thing that they've sacrificed? And so Shaq says, realizing that he's not on the journey by himself, and he brings up an example about this job offer that he got and how he turned it down. It was a massive job offer, but it was out of state. And so in his confession, he said he made that decision without Kirsten because he knew if he brought it up, then it would have been a problem. And so he said that instead of that, he realized that he needed to focus on them right now. And Kirsten was like, wow, so his thing was he can't just make decisions based on just himself anymore. He has to think about Kirsten as well. So Kirsten had that fake smile plastered on her face the whole time. I said, oh, in her confessional, she said she told him off top she understands he's chasing his career and the job opportunities may come. So she tells him that yes, she loves Nashville and yes, her family is there, but she doesn't want to hold him back and have resentment. And honestly, I was just thinking about this, y'all. Because, I said, I'm feeling like Shaq is starting to check out. Like, he's starting to peep Kirsten for who she is. And knowing that if he got a job offer in something that he's really been wanting, I don't feel like he would have just turned it down. Because I don't think he sees a future in this marriage. So, I don't know if he just... I don't know, yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking with that. I don't know, but that whole job offer thing, it ain't seem too right. But anyways, moving on. So Aries and Jasmine, right? They're doing their homework assignment, and so a question comes up: well, what would it take for them to fall in love with their spouse? Instead of answering a question, Aries wants to know how many times she's been in love. Has it been 5? And she was just like, why would you think it's 5? He said, because you fall in love easy. And she was just like, no, I've been in love 3 times, And so she tries to be funny and ask him, and then she's like, oh, wait a minute, forgot you've never been in love, So he asks her, is love scary? And she says, yes, but I feel you have to be uncomfortable to grow. And he said he feels like he almost fell in love. Like, how do you almost fall in love, Aries? Like, either you do or you don't. You can't almost fall in love. This is just like somebody saying they tripped and fell in some. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that kind of stuff just does not happen. Like either you going all the way or you're not. So anyway, so um but yeah, he's talking about the person that he said broke his heart, and that was 10 years ago, and he been for the streets ever since, basically. And so yeah, because the person just ended things. So I said, "No, you love that woman and you were hurt. You already said that. Um, since then you've been guarded." And sure enough, he talks about it's been 10 years again, and it still haunts him, basically. So he said his male ego is fragile, and that incident alone made him a worse dating partner because you were in love with that woman and she hurt you. That's why. That's why. So he tells her that anytime he felt those feelings creeping up, he was always out of there. He also told her that he gets a thrill out of meeting new people. I said, "Oh, okay. You're one of those swipe left, swipe right type of people. You like to meet new people and not take the time or the effort to invest in any one person." Uh, Jasmine said that she's a hopeless romantic in that if a relationship doesn't work out, that she remains hopeful that her forever will come. He asked her if she feels like she's falling in love now, and she said, well, she would like to fall in love eventually, but is it happening right now? No. So she said she needs more of an emotional connection for that to happen. So it is day 26, and Kirsten and Shaq are out plant shopping, right? So Shaq said he believes in fairy tales, and he believes he can fall in love with her, but he knows it's gonna take more time. So he likes plants and he wants to bring her into his world as a well quality time, and into his world of plants. And so they go plant shopping, and they end up picking a plant that will represent them growing. But y'all, they can't agree on what plant to choose. Honey, they finally settled on something. I don't know. But I was just like, y'all doing the most. Oh, y'all doing the most right now. Come on, people. So Aries has made drinks for himself as Jasmine as they sit down to play Never Have I Ever, right? And so he goes off. Never have I ever kissed someone of the same sex. So when Jasmine didn't drop a finger, he acted like he was all shocked, talking about, you ain't never kissed no woman, no girl. Like he acted like that was blasphemous. Like that she has never ever done that. I was like, sir, everyone doesn't do that. Like, have you ever kissed a guy before? Like, did back up off of her. Then he asked, never have I ever had sex while other people watched. So she ain't take a finger down there. So then she asked him if he's had a threesome. Here you go, talking about it was more like an orgy. So in her confessional, her producer asked her if she's learning anything new about Aries, and she was like, "Yeah, I've learned a lot of things, baby." She was not pleased. I wouldn't be either, baby. I'll be thinking about all the potential things I'm exposing myself to if I were to do anything with them. So anyway, they then get to him in his confessional, and why he feel like he gotta explain what an orgy is. Like, sir, we know what that is. We do not need you to explain. You know what I'm saying? So then the producer asked him, well, how many orgies have you been in? And he gonna just laugh. Baby, you probably ain't been in not damn one while you sitting up there laughing, trying to perk for these cameras like you just that guy. And again, probably ain't hitting on nothing. That's why you keep talking about blowing somebody back out and ain't finna blow nothing out. Shoot. So anyway, put that penis up. Anyway. So then he asked, never have I ever had a one night stand. And matter of fact, why is he the only one asking all the questions? Like, why don't you give her an opportunity to say, never have I ever, whatever? You know, it may be. He the only one doing all the never have I ever, you know what I'm saying? So he says, never have I ever had a one night stand. And she said no. Here he goes. See, you supposed to do all that stuff before you get married. Meanwhile, he got 4 out of 5 fingers down. Talking about, I just don't know. So then he wants to say, never have I ever cheated. Never have I ever cheated. And she said no. And he gonna tell her life sounds boring. No, sir. In her confessional, she said she told him that they need to have a deeper connection so they could connect emotionally. And she said listening to him talk about sex is not what she meant. Like, this is not it, boo boo. And I don't blame her. Wasn't nothing connecting them on there. It was probably driving them further apart. I know it would drive me further apart listening to all the stuff that he claimed he's done. So Kirsten has set up this homemade spa for Shaq, right? So they got a foot bath. She gave him a foot bath. She gave him a back massage with this little massage thing. She then put on blindfolds on both of them, talking about she ready to spice things up. Baby, there wasn't nothing going down in the apartment. Not nothing. So she ends up telling him to tell her one thing about him that she doesn't know. Now this is why they both are blindfolded, right? And so he said he had insecurities about who he was, how he was raised, how he didn't play sports. And so she did take the time to pour into him, telling him that he's an amazing man. So, and about the scar, he's insecure about the scar, and that, you know, that was fine. And so then he flips the question back to her. And she said, well, there's tons you don't know about me, but sometimes I can be quiet and in my shell. He said, well, there's something I already know about you. Tell me something I don't know about you. And so she said, I don't know. It's not too much more you don't know. And Shaquille was just like, you just got through saying there's tons that I don't know about you. And I said, all I could think was this, right, Shaq? Hold her feet to the fire. So Kirsten doesn't know how to dig deep. Like, that's my thing about her. She doesn't know, or either that or she just doesn't want to. And so she's probably used to skating by without doing so much because of her looks. Like, letting people in or digging deep, diving deep, opening herself up more. She's probably used to just skating by those kind of things because of her looks. And so he said, is this the guard you need to let down? He said, your walls are tall. And he said, I haven't figured out why. And he asked her, has she not let her last relationship go? And he said he doesn't want decision day to come and he's still not feeling the way he is now. He said being committed is one thing, but getting to the point where you can fall in love is something else. Shaq, she is only going to give you so much. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? So it's day 27 and Gina and Clint, they go to see some kind of bull ride, like a rodeo type of thing. They put on their cowboy boots. They get to it. It's something that neither of them have ever done before. So it's a first time experience for the both of them. Like, we see footage of them while they're there. They look like they genuinely are having a great time. Clint swears up and down he could ride a bull. Anyway, they end the evening hanging out downtown, high-fiving again. Friends, nothing more, nothing less. And y'all, that was the end of this episode. I seem to have had a lot of technical difficulties recording this recap and review. But it's all good. We gonna make it do what it do. This episode fell kind of flat for me anyways. But yeah, so hopefully next week will be a little better. And that's all I got for y'all. So as always, I'll pray for y'all. Y'all please pray for me, and we will watch God change things. Bye, y'all.